Previously in the GodBreaking, a group of adventurers left the city of Waterdeep, and Deimos and Elwyn traveled to Ospium to arrange for the Orc Reavers, the 1,000 Orc Reavers that had been settled there or had been staged there. And Deimos dealed with them and convinced them to go help in the reclaiming of Waterdeep from these necrotic aberrations that Whitebeard had filled the nation with. And O'Beard stayed behind in their friend O'Beard stayed behind in Waterdeep to organize the resistance of the surviving humans to try to retake their nation. So those Reavers agreed. Deimos convinced them into putting together some kind of construction rebuilding company or group to help rebuild the city while they cleared out the evil beings that were still plaguing the land, and they went off to do that. In the meantime, Euphemia had discovered a magic belt in the cache of treasures from Waterdeep, and in putting it on, was turned into a man. She quickly traveled to Mistrala and talked with Liam the Holy, and he was able to break the curse of gender change that was put on her. But in doing so, she was hit with an aftershock or a version of psychic whiplash, and has contracted a sense of tremors that will give her a disadvantage occasionally on strength and dexterity checks.
You know, you could have mutated or did something really cool. Just give me the tremors.
Hey, you rolled on the table. While the party rejoined, regathered in Ospium and found, because they had discovered that Callioda had resettled in a new city, that being Ospium, and opened up a brand new, shiny, very impressive store there. And you guys spent a good amount of time and a good bit of money shopping with Callioda. And during that time, Deimos, Euphemia slipped the magic belt on you, and you got gender changed into a muscle-bound Catwoman, which resulted in many hijinks. And the other, the other development was that you guys learned that Prince Darius was in full retreat. He had been staged in the east section of the Arelinian Plains, and was trying to defend the land, or at least clear up the wandering and random invasions of or occurrences of leaper attacks out there. But he sent a message to his mother in Ospium, and you guys managed to listen in on it, that like the dam of aggression had been broken, as thousands of leapers had poured into the eastern plain of Erelin. He and his army, Prince Darius and his army, were in full tactical retreat, doing their best to slow down the invasion, but they were losing quickly. Many were dying in the process, and there was a heavy sense of inevitability as they were basically fleeing from this massive influx of leapers. And finally, the last thing that happened last week was that in the middle of the night, Elwyn, you were attacked by Kian Mei, who was seeking revenge for her uncle's murder.
Yeah, I still have a boner about that.
Yeah. You also have a wound in your arm, or in your shoulder, where she stabbed you with her sword. But you convinced her to not kill you, and she left you with a wound, and she decided to go back to her land. You told her to stay away because this place was dangerous, and she agreed. And she and her ninjas left. From now on, Elwyn, any strength check that you make involving your right arm will be at disadvantage because of the lingering wound. Okay?
I'm gonna have to learn to do stuff with my left arm now.
Yo.
You know, all your strength checks, you're gonna lose this game now.
Alright. So that's where we are. You guys are currently in Ospium. Let me make sure you guys have your long rests, because you guys spent the night. Deimos, you got yourself a book of whatever, the Tome of Physical Strength, and you've been actively working on it and training it, working out in the middle of the night. You're also female. Elwyn, you're wounded in your arm, but it's been healed, but the lingering wound continues. Euphemia, you have tremors. Albrecht, you've just been hanging out doing nothing until now.
Woohoo!
Alright? Oh, and also there's an army of leapers that are several days away from the city. So let me show you a map here real quick.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Alright? So Prince Darius contacted the leapers right around here. And is in full tactical retreat. So they're fleeing as quickly as possible, but they're basically doing everything they can to slow down the advance of the leapers behind them. That means setting traps. That means sometimes setting ambushes or trying to distract the leapers and lead them off in a different direction. And they're losing hundreds of men every day in the process. And the leapers are actually moving more quickly than they are. So it's a very risky and dangerous venture that they're on. But as of yesterday, they were 7 days out. So now today, as you guys wake up this morning, they are 6 days out from the city. Darius is in full retreat with his army. And last you checked, there's about 3,000 leapers hot on his tail. Okay? That's where we are. What in the world would you all like to do?
Probably cried.
Yeah, I'm with. No, I'm just kidding. So.
Alright, so how do you guys want to attack it? Do we want to do the plan of just run in there, try to fight the big Tarasky dude?
Hey, Damus, can you turn your volume louder?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Do we know he's even there?
Yeah, we don't know where he is.
You have not confirmed or unconfirmed his location, I guess.
We can call that one guy in that one place so they can spy him out and then they can tell us where he's at.
I'm gonna have to be more specific because I don't remember the one guy in the one place.
The really cool guy in the observatory or whatever.
Oh. Favorite guy. Yes.
Is that better?
No.
Still quiet? I'll try again. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's it,
still
being
kind of
funky.
quiet. You're audible, but I have you cranked all the way up in Discord. Like 200% volume on Discord. Okay, you guys want to call I still don't have a name for him. Like, we never named him. He's just a half-elf, like, older man.
Oh.
Tourette's boy?
Yeah.
You didn't name him? The one with the
Let's
book?
name
The
that.
big-ass book?
Oh, him? That's Tycho.
Yeah,
Like-
he's the one.
He's not the one who runs the observatory.
Tycho's the dwarf.
What if we go over
I
there?
think we're talking about Tourette's guy. He's the one
Yeah.
that we asked to show us the names, and then he says fuck shit all the time.
Yeah. Isn't that Tycho?
No, that's not Tycho.
The
Oh.
guy who smokes the dwarvish pot.
What if
I've
we,
always thought it was him.
I think you guys are confusing things.
No. Now
if we go over there,
the
though?
the guy who runs the observatory, the observation deck, is just an NPC, but I don't even have a picture for him. Tycho is
Yeah,
the
no picture.
dwarf with the big book on his back, the big stack of books on his back. He's the one who talks like Yoda.
Oh, for some reason, I always thought it was that guy.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I only had one idea, but that doesn't apply anymore, so whatever.
Well, we
Up
could
to you
all,
guys.
if we go
You can
over-
challenge him to a dance-off and show him your new shakes.
Wait, I'm not very shaky.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Every time you need healing, I'm just gonna start shaking. It's like, oops, sorry, can't help it.
You got me right, Deimos.
Oh yeah. Dan is still pretty sure that Euphemia has a sick dance move now that he just can't. He's been trying to do it every now and then because I think like Euphemia's trying to lighten up. She'll still be like, "Nah."
You're still pretty quiet, Deimos.
God dang it. One sec.
Sorry.
I just turned my whole computer volume up and then turned all you guys down so I could hear Deimos. All right, so it's morning in Ospium. You guys hear the hustle and bustle of the capital around outside. There's lots going on in the city. The Queen is making preparations frantically, along with the remainder of her forces here, and Oswayne the Brazen. No, Owain the Brazen. They're trying to fortify the city and all that stuff, but knowing what they know about the Leapers, it's pretty obvious to everyone that normal defenses and normal warfare tactics will not be very effective against them.
I always found the Leapers to be kind of weak. The only problem was that basic soldiers couldn't deal with them because they don't hit magic, or they're immune to basic physical damage. But otherwise, they're pretty weak individually.
And we have the other dudes coming, right? The mages from Estrala.
Yes,
help.
you contact them to get ready. Yes.
How long?
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna ask if Caliota told us how long she's gonna be until she made her items, and is she's aware that she made the worst choice of relocating to this city.
You have not asked her that. She told you she would be about 5 or 6 days for the items. I mean, you could,
Right.
you could go in and keep checking in on her, but Euphemia, the Leapers are actually very strong. You guys, I think, when there was 6 of you, now this was several levels ago, I think you were like level 15 or so, were taking on a pack of equal numbers of Leapers was too much for you at that point. You guys were fighting them in 2s and 3s. They basically have all the stats of a Tarask in the monster manual, but with like half the hit points.
Yeah, I think our best plan is to go see where what's his face is, where Tarask's buddy.
Yeah. So since you guys have encountered them so much, and since you know them well, I'm linking their stat sheet to you in party chat. Okay, so these are unchanged from what you guys fought when you were traveling to Cinderlar. But just remember there are 3,000 of them coming your way. One of these will shred through any number of normal human troops and normal fighters.
Alright. Am I still super duper quiet?
You're good now, to me anyway.
Better.
Sorry, small work in progress. What if we go travel to Mistrala and then get a view of the thing and then try to recruit as many of the Meiji dudes to teleport us all over there, and we could just all like bum rush nuke from the sky out of jumping range.
I don't think we have enough people for that.
And I think the jumping range is like ungodly far.
They can jump
Like-
very far.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They're Reapers,
How many of them know
not,
Meteor
not
Swarm?
Hoppers.
If they stay back, roll fire, Meteor Swarm, and get the fuck out of Dodge.
I think there's probably only like 4 or 5 mages that probably know Meteor Swarm.
That's 4 or 5 Meteor Swarms.
I don't know, is that a lot?
That's
A lot of meteor swarms.
What's meteor? Yeah,
I don't think-
look at those.
Yeah, I don't think we can take even one down with just one meteor swarm. This is how much it would do.
Oh.
But that's a bunch of ones.
That
What if we
that
get-
too?
How big is the area that it does, though?
I'll link it.
Can you guys see that?
Crap. No.
Here, I'll link it.
Nope.
Just say it.
Oh, 40 foot radius. Bah.
But there's 4 of them. 4 different points you can see. Each does 40-foot radius.
So if they
Pretty-
spread out though,
It's pretty
they're
big.
basically screwed.
What if we try to get all these long range spells, kind of like Meteor Swarm, get the few guys who can do it. We find out where Mr. Giganto Jurassic Man is. They pop in with us, like they'll teleport us here, and then they just like try to nuke just him. They'll drop like 5 meter swarms or 4 meter swarms just straight on Mr. Big Jurassic.
Well, here's a question for you.
Mhm.
If we
Yes.
kill him, well, it's not a DM question, I don't think. I think this is more of a character question. But, if we kill him, do all the other little leaper guys lose their powers?
What you know about them is that they were created by actually eating his flesh. The first time you encountered him, his left arm was like non-existent. It looked like it had been gnawed away on by a wild animal. That's how he made his first army. He basically takes people, captives, and forces them to eat, like take a bite of his arm or like a small part of his skin or of his muscle or something like that, and that transforms them into a leaper that's completely subservient to him. After his first army was destroyed, when he took Sindalar and attacked Vortum, and came into contact and basically fought Modron, the god. He's been spending the last few months rebuilding his army and has sacrificed his other arm, his right arm, to build this army that is now attacking you guys. So that's what you guys know about the Leapers and about Inkamel.
That was my plan last week, just to kill him and hope everything, the other guys.
Stop doing
but the-
whatever they're doing?
Yeah.
But the real question is, how often has that worked for us?
Once?
Yeah,
It's
true.
it's like that's our only move. So
True. I was gonna. I had a question. Oh, so does that mean when he is in his Tarrasque form, he doesn't have arms either?
No, in his human form he doesn't have arms. In Tarrasque form he fully shapeshifts. At least that's what you saw last time.
it's kind of weird.
Not
I'd
any more
rather
than
see
someone
on the
shifting
Tarrasque
into a.
trying.
Not any more than someone shapeshifting into a Tarrasque. That's like,
Okay.
5,000
That's
times
just
their
weird,
size.
you know.
That's like that bad guy from Spider-Man, the crocodile or alligator or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's like a Star Wars movie with a plot that just has no meaning to it. Oh.
You talking about the new movie? I like the new movie.
Yeah, the new movie is great.
Yeah. The only people who don't like it are haters and dumb people.
Yep.
Or Star Wars
Yeah, but the
purists.
plot is pointless.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that didn't happen the way I wanted. I was just like, well, maybe you should get outside of your mom's basement.
Tell you, that movie was enjoyable as fuck.
Yeah, it was great.
Even
would
even the
The only bad part of it was Superman Leia.
Eh,
that actually happens in other Star Wars lore, so
yeah. The only thing that was
it's not something that
they-
it has been undone.
the warp drive through the ships. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
No, that part is actually pretty accurate. That was Hux being a complete and total idiot right there.
No.
Because
That was pretty sweet.
But the thing
Yeah,
is, I'm
yeah.
just thinking about this way. If you're military tacticians, and apparently if Star Wars made that possible now,
If you're a military
don't
tactician,
you-
you would have headed
why don't you
off the rebellion fleet and stopped them.
no, I just would have had a couple just drone-made ships that have hyperdrive. Turn them around and just fire
Deimos,
into every.
Deimos, I actually heard the
garbage
perfect explanation for this. So
Mhm.
I'm going
That's
to prove
expensive as fuck.
I'm going
Right.
to prove you. I'm going to prove you wrong here, sir.
How many ships got destroyed? All of those had hyperdrive. They turned one around, just one, and shoot it. There goes the buttload of massive ships.
See, the
Nope.
thing is, the thing is that won't normally work because hyperdrive takes forever to actually spin up and get active.
Mm-hmm.
Smart
Unless
about
it's
it.
a plot point.
If Hux had been smart about it, he would have actually shot that ship before it was able to activate his hyperdrive, and that's what would happen tempted.
Yeah.
This was just
There's
Hux being
a-
a complete idiot.
There's another reason why that wouldn't work, because in Star Wars, hyperdrive are corridors system. It's not a warp
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah, it
So,
wouldn't work.
It would only work in 1 or 2 spots in the galaxy. Otherwise, it should not have worked.
Mhm.
Do you guys remember
Yeah,
that
no.
they have to come up with interesting ship battles? Remember that Star Trek movie? I think where Picard like goes warp 9, like 100 feet right up into the guy's face, so it creates an after image behind him, and they shoot at the wrong ship. Do you guys you ever see that movie?
That
It
was
one
like
of
that was in the movie. That was the first season episode something with the
Was it really? It was a regular
phone.
episode. As soon as I saw that,
Yeah.
I was like, that is so full of junk. That is so garbage. But it's plot. It's a plot point. He goes warp 9 like 100 feet.
Great plan on taking down the Trask, guys. I like it.
Actually,
Yeah.
So,
okay,
can I
what do you
roll
guys
Well,
for
want?
we just
us?
said we're
So-
just gonna
so I
get
think-
a bunch of Jedi and Sith.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
your
for
plan is
Enterprise.
Well,
it's to
shoot
warp.
them.
It's to hyperdrive right through the Trask. Got it.
Is that possible? Like, if that was a plan, we should have done this all along.
You guys can try to do whatever you want.
It was the real question
Let's
is,
roll.
have a divine intervention to make it possible.
Oh, and I'm gonna go buy
Change
some
your
pants that
dog
come up
to
to my
Darth Vader.
nipples.
Need some pants that come up to your nipples. There you go.
All right, so really,
Can we get Dark Helm to help us out? You know, maybe we can
Dark
get a
Helmet?
video out and get a video of what we're going to do, wind it up, and you know,
I see your
Then we'll
schwartz
have
is
the
as big
answer.
as mine. Okay, what are you guys doing?
I think
can
we're,
go-
aren't we going?
You going
Mistrala.
Mistrala?
We're going to Mistrala.
Okay.
That
I
was the
guess
plan.
we are going to go after the Trash Master, and hopefully he's alone and kill him.
Yeah.
yeah, can we have the at
Wouldn't
least
be so.
the mage people teleport us there so we can save Elwyn a Uber slot?
Sure. You managed to find some of the court arcanists, and there are, of course, this is a massive. This is the city, the golden jewel of all of Tandesh.
Do we want
A
to?
city of 1 million people, so there's definitely mages there. What?
I was going to say, do we want to bring some heavy hitters with us?
We're just
Go
going to
up to the
Mistrala
Trask.
now. We're,
Well, I mean, should we look for people in Mistrala to go with us to go after that trash boss? Like the Bard guy, and maybe a couple
probably,
of
but
mages.
we're just going to go see where he is right now to see if it's even possible to go after him.
Roll a d20.
You guys find an arcanist in Ospium to teleport you to Mistrala, and since you guys are authorized to teleport to Mistrala, you're able to do so, giving him the correct sigil sequence, and you guys arrive at the foot of the Silver Spire. Around you, you see
That's
this
the outlet
magical city operating. There's minotaurs and various races of creatures all over the place. There's these moving and active plant life that are part of the regular city life around. Again, most of the city has been militarized, or at least devoted towards warfare industry. So, under the guide of Telephos, the city has changed since you guys spent most of your time here. You do recognize a few familiar faces as you arrive. A mage, a particular mage, comes up to you. He looks like some kind of like campus security guard or something. He comes up to you guys and says, "You've all returned. How can we help you? Are you looking to speak to Battlemaster Telephos?"
We want to go to the sorry, and if Telephos would meet us there, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, so the observation deck. Is that what you said?
That's what I meant.
Okay. So he nods his agreement and says, "I will give him a message. I will send a message to him and tell him where you will be." and he walks away. You guys travel up the Silver Spire, kind of like to right about there, where you get to the observation deck. Arriving there, you enter this, again, wide open room that seems to be windowless. It's like you can gaze around the spire for miles and miles. It's like being at the top of the Empire State Building. You can see far and away, except you can see more clearly than your eyes naturally would be able to. In the room are a few people, just meandering back and forth, doing their work, attending to maintaining the room, and you do recognize the familiar half-elf elderly man who you have worked alongside, or at least been in this room alongside multiple times in the past. He says to you, "Of course you've returned, and I'm sure you wish to use the power of this great magical room to gaze
No,
upon
no.
some despicable and monstrous and terrifying creature."
No, we can't ask you to join our group. We need some really big, powered, muscly guy to come join us.
He begins to.
Deimos left. You know, we're missing people.
You see his
Come
hands begin to tremble a little bit. He says, I don't know what you... And he grabs it with his other arm to keep it from shaking. He says,
Got a little
surely
bit-
you are mistaken. And... Go on.
Oh no, I saw him shaking, and I assumed he was trying to, like, that's how Euphemia and him greet each other now.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about that too.
And then he looks at you, Deimos, and he says, I'm sorry, my lady. Do I know you?
No, that slut.
Deimos thinks it'd be fine to mess with him now. No.
I
That's
must
my new
say-
girlfriend.
Yeah. You call me El Gala.
Gila. He says, well, he looks at you, Elwyn. Kind of, smaller framed half elf, and he looks at Deimos, this muscle bound, massive female. And he says, well, to each their own, I guess.
Trust me. Once you get some Gala, you never go back. I didn't have a good saying for that.
He says, I will take your word for that.
Check out my firework kitties.
You did get those things, didn't you?
Yep.
He goes, oh! As he begins to cast sparks and little mini fireworks, Gandalf style, emitting from your bosom.
I missed so much last week.
Yes, you did. You missed the really screwed up episode last week. Okay. He says, please make a request. Use the room. Just get those things out of my face.
Got it, baby.
Inkmel, I'll say.
He says, yes, again. He goes over to his activation panel. You see him maneuvering a couple of runes, moving them around, activating a few, and he says, Invaro, Intrasil, Incomel. And the room begins to focus, the light shifts in the room, and you begin to visually begin to move across the plains of Udos. Let me see here. Yeah. Across the plains of Udos and into Erlin, as your vision goes from here over to right around here, as best as you can tell. And it zooms in on a now just kind of like a frail looking human man. You recognize him, except he looks a lot more weary, and it looks like he's aged a fair amount since the last time you saw him. His hair is matted down and kind of stringy. His skin is a little bit droopy. He seems slouched over a little bit. His arms are hanging. What's left of his arms just kind of hang limply at his sides. He is in He's sitting in what looks like some kind of fashioned harness, a seat, almost, that is securely buckled down, and he's strapped in, and is riding on the back of a large red leaper. And the group fastened to the back of the leaper, and the thing is moving quickly, and leaps and bounds. It is charging, and looking all around him, you see him being surrounded by dozens and dozens of other of these leapers, all sporadically just jumping and leaping and snarling, and slamming down into the ground before pushing off again. In one flash, you see in the corner a couple leapers come down on what looks like a person, and they make quick work of him, splattering blood and bone all over the place as they basically just squash him. You see them rip a couple of limbs off. One of them bends down to take a few bites out of the man's carcass, but the other two continue on, speeding along their way. And Inkamel, his eyes, however, are while his body looks frail, his eyes are sharp and focused, straight ahead.
And then, out of pure curiosity from our knowledge of were beings, do we know whether he has the stats of a human while in human form?
If you know he has the stats of a human while in human form.
AKA, if we meteor storm him while he's in human form, is that a lot less hit points than his Tarrasque form?
You know that the two forms are linked. They're not like he's one being basically. There's no advantage to killing a lycanthrope while they're in their human form as opposed to fighting them in their.
It's kind of like a druid thing, whereas if he dies in this one, he would transform to get the more hit points.
Yeah, they're very much linked. I mean, he can transform into his massive his lycanthropic form very quickly.
Question is though, if we get a true surprise attack on him, does he have the same HP pool from human to leaper or Tarrasque?
That's what I just asked, and yes, he does.
But you didn't ask it very well.
So,
I thought I asked it.
What you guys know is that when last time you encountered him, he remember in that room, that small room, and what's his name? Feldorn had tried to had eaten the Black Lotus. On Inkamel's turn, he leaped across the table, and he grabbed Feldorn by the neck, even though he's small and frail, and just basically overpowered him completely and lifted him up. And then he engaged in his shapeshift. You're not sure if he has his full stats in Tarrasque form, and it's probably not, but he is much stronger in his physical form than meets the eye.
So he probably does have a health pool that we could delete, but it's not going to be like 5.
Yeah, well, no. Well, the thing is, if he has a health pool in the human form and we deplete that, he'll still transform into a were Tarrasque.
I don't think so.
That's what he said. I asked if it was the same way a druid
Is that
worked,
exactly what you said, Mr. TM?
Specifically.
Huh? From the best you know, and this is I'm trying to think back of your encounters with other lycanthropes, because you've encountered a fair number of them. You're not going to be able to kill him before he transforms. He's too resilient. I mean, because of it's in his body. It's flowing through his physical form and stuff. He's much tougher, much more resilient than any human. Just because he's a were Tarrasque.
I'm gonna ask the dude if there's any way that they can transport us. Anybody here can transport us to there.
He says, "Of course, you are in a land full of fucking mages and shit. He says, well, I could teleport you there myself if I were so inclined." And as he says that, you see his eyes just, while he's looking at you, Elwyn, just all of a sudden stop and look up and past your shoulder, as he's looking at someone else entering the room behind you. And he says, Oh, sir, he says, I'm glad you arrived. These, our group of allies here have pointed out a very dire situation.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Oh shoot! Look. Hey, Elwin, Albrick. It's the good bard, the strong one.
You think he's here because Euphemia attacked his people when she came here last time?
No, I don't think so. Don't let him know about how Euphemia attacked his people here last time. It could really piss him off.
Telephos, very quietly is walking into the room. His intensity has not faded at all. Even though he's been hard at work these last couple of months. Accompanying him, of course, is his ever-present assistant, Ava. And she says, Master Telephos and I journeyed here as soon as we heard that you were looking for us. It's been a while, she says. It's good to see you all. And she looks at you, Deimos, and she says, Deimos, what happened to you? You look a disaster.
Yeah, well, to be serious, I think I look pretty good as a chick. Definitely the best looking chick in the party.
She says, well, I'm not one to question your life choices.
Oh, no, Euphemia cursed me.
Oh.
You know how
That
she
makes
gets.
sense.
Just that makes a bit more sense. So I hope you feel well.
Well, tell you what, I feel a lot more agile not having my, how old is she?
Hershey's 19.
Alright. Not having my penis whacking against my legs.
Why didn't you ask this time?
she hold on. You see her blush a little bit, and she
No.
says, yes, I can imagine that would be rather cumbersome.
Don't think about it that way. They must just being blunt and honest. He says, anyways, I look damn good in a dress.
She says, I would hope so.
Just looking, I'm awful. I would not bang me.
She says, I'm here to translate for Master Telephos. Master Telephos. And she looks over at him, and he's just like, just staring at you, Deimos. Like, and you see
Hey.
this like vacant look in his eyes. He's like, oh, and she says, Master
Get those eyes
Telephos.
off of me.
Says,
He wants
Don't look at me like a
he wants
piece of
it.
meat. Just joking, I'm just a huge fucking piece of meat. I do a few just random sexy poses, and I call this one the female, and I just start shaking sporadically.
Master Telephos is inquiring what your dinner plans are.
Oh, that's not even funny, Telephos. It's not even funny. All right, it's kind of funny.
You see a small smirk across his face. She smiles. She says, "In all seriousness, we are aware of the Leaper's existence, and we have been preparing accordingly. As you may know, Telephos is well versed in their physiology and in combating them. He was instrumental in defeating the Leaper assault on Oscaria. Him and a few other mages almost single-handedly outmaneuvering the handful of Leapers that had attacked the city. So he knows what is effective against them." And she looks at him, and he nods some more.
Then how do you kill that guy right there? And I point at the Trask.
These titties.
She says, "We have been preparing our war mages to fight the Leapers. Inkamel, however," she says, as we have told you before, is a creature of another order of magnitude entirely. We have no magic that will be able to hinder him. We have been hoping that you would have come across some resource to combat this foe.
Well, we
Have
found
you?
a lot of resources that probably could, but none of them want to help us.
Well, we did find there was a flower, but the flower's in the Feywild or something like that, though.
Well, the flower is going to make him stronger.
The flower was in. Feldorn fought Dovo on the astral plane, and he destroyed the Dovo as that was coming to him, and it ripped the essence of the Black Lotus out of him. The Black Lotus, as best as you can tell, is scattered across in little bits and pieces across the astral plane, along with Dovo and bits and pieces of Dovo.
Forgot
Would it
about
be
that fact.
possible to seal away the Trask into, like, another dimension so he could, like, never come back?
She says, "The Tarask is a creature of legend and great lore. He is the world ender, the destroyer of civilizations. There are no magics that would be very effective against him, that we know of. I mean, it can be done, it can be tried, it can be harmed, and certainly Inkumel is not a full Tarask, he is only a hybrid. So perhaps marshalling the full
Yeah, but-
strength... Yes?
Oh, I was gonna say, but yeah, there's a god that exists called Midas that makes even a half Tarask almost as strong as the book Tarask.
Oh, she says, you have to understand, a full Tarask, by stepping upon this world, would break through the very crust of this planet. He would shatter continental plates with his roar. We have seen nothing even remotely approaching the power of a full Tarask.
Full Tarask and Midas is you cry.
I can't imagine what you'd make the stats for that.
Yeah.
What about our legacy weapons? What if we just unleash everything we have, all our legacy weapons on that thing?
I'm sure it would damage him.
Oh yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
damaging him is the problem. It's killing him before he kills us.
Oh, let's just get him really weak, and then I'll use my legacy weapon on him at the end.
Again, it's killing him before he kills us.
She says, "We know the danger approaching Erlin, and that Prince Darius is at this moment in dire straits. We are ready to mobilize. We have 400 trained war mages at the ready, and we have specifically been preparing a combination of spells and spell arrays to combat the Leapers. We can be effective
any-
against them, but they are
Can you-
vast in number."
Can you decimate the army like Bodrin was able to?
She says, "There are thousands of them. Far more than we had anticipated. We can help. We can be effective, much more effective than our small number. But," she says, "we cannot take them head on. And if we were to try, our losses would be dire."
Is there any way we can figure out a plan that doesn't just resolve in who can kill who faster?
"Do you have any other allies that we can call upon?"
We got a boatload of dragon men, but they're hard to move.
She says, "We can move them."
Yeah, but
Damn, look at this.
aren't most of their claws gonna be, like, physical damage?
Yeah.
We can equip them with magical abilities, or at least temporary magical weapons. We have a lot.
Yeah,
We
but
have
still-
many more hundreds of low-level acolytes and trainees who can at least cast magic weapon spells.
Yeah, but
Hey,
they're still just basically soldiers that are a little bit better than normal soldiers. They're not like super dragon men. They're just
Whatever
level
happened
one.
to
What about the dragons?
Yeah, what happened to what's
They
his face?
they won't help us because we don't. There's a one asshole, and Deimos killed the other guy's son. You know, because he's an asshole.
what? Who's Deimos?
I don't know, some
We can actually make
asshole
that one.
cat building guy that likes to kill old mothers
So,
and
Albrecht,
sons.
you guys tried to get in touch with Anteri Saber last session,
Yes.
and he
Oh,
has
okay.
he has a stone of communication, just like all your allies do. So you're able to get in touch with him. He is currently, last time you saw him, which is yesterday, he is currently in the jungles of Skignash, somewhere in here. And while you guys were in Waterdeep fighting Whitebeard, he tracked down another demon, and you saw him hunting and pursuing this creature, which is very large, some 40 feet tall, very agile, and with this howling banshee-like primal scream, leaping through the forests, and Terry's, accompanied by Shaylin, was chasing it.
Tell him we'll trade him. He'll take care of the Tarrasque. We'll go kill the monkey.
I agree with
Not a
that.
bad plan.
Plan at all.
As you mentioned him, as you mentioned in Terry Saber, she looks over at Telephos, and she says, Master Telephos has heard of this individual, or at least encountered the
monkey
The-
ass?
after effects of some of his involvement. He is a formidable
Asshole?
individual. Says he would be a
Son
good
of
ally.
bitch.
What did you say about him? Does he have
Just
some
that he
relation
he has a special deal with Shaylin, whatever her face is, that
Who?
he can.
A dragon.
a
One of the
dragon?
elder
Queen.
dragons.
A dragon?
Oh, does he know that we got in touch with them?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, well, okay. That's a story that I'll tell him right now, real quick. I'll
Okay.
tell him about the Dragon Council.
And they, for a second, Ava and Telephos pause, and Telephos leans over to her ear and whispers some, and talks, and she says, about a minute goes by, and she comes up to you and she says, now that is a development. To think that there were dragons still in this world, and not just any dragons, not like that youngling that you carry around with you, that carries you around, Euphemia.
Oh, you mean the tree?
Yeah.
She smiles. She says, yes, that's one. But to think that the actual monarchs, the royalty of the dragon kind, had survived the thousands of years, the millennia, and had grown in such strength and power, and are still willing to make an impact in this world, she says. That is a development. She looks at him. It might take the dragons to kill a Tarrasque.
Yeah,
Well,
but two of the dragons don't want anything to do with us. And they won't do anything unless they're all, united.
Well, perhaps that's what you should be working on.
In 5 days? And plus, she's scared to do anything with the Earth Dragon.
Why?
I'm gonna give him the name of the really cool fire dragon that was really cool with me.
Zarabor?
Yep.
And Merrick?
My notes. Bum, 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 bum.
Talking about these guys?
Yeah. Merrick's and Man, my handwriting is ugly.
Zerebor, his name is. Zerebor and Mirex, the mated male and female flame dragons.
Oh yes, Cerebor. There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say their names.
Okay.
I
She
assume he wants to see them.
um she says, "We know of we know of those beings, but only in legend and the most ancient of histories. You have met them?"
Yeah. I'm gonna tell the funny dude, like, hey, look up Cerebor and Merrick's.
He says, um, okay. You mention the names and roll a d20. Okay. Um, as as he acknowledges your request and he activates the rune sequence, you do see the pair of them in their human forms, flame wreathed individuals, like people, like humanoid beings of pure fire almost, completely naked, of course. But they're traveling. Um, they're they're flying through, and they're you can't tell exactly where they are. They're in the air somewhere, and you see them. You can't hear anything through the observation deck. You can just see. It looks like they're searching for something. They're they're doing like patterns where they cover the same amount of ground back and forth. They're they're heading towards a town, and they're observing it from afar. It looks like they're peering into the town, trying to find something.
Well,
Um,
that's them.
Ava looks at Telephos, and she says, she says, to imagine that we would be laying eyes upon the Flame King and Queen. She says, if you have any inroads with them, she says, those would be allies greatly valuable to the efforts against Inkamel. She says, for I fear that Telephos believes us greatly outmatched at the moment.
Okay.
What's
The
name?
the dragons
Um,
won't act unless we have the full support of the council.
Which one
So-
did we not have the support of? Let's see. The bronze one was
The Earth-
Seek
Earth one?
Hard, and then Praktinic, and then
Yep, those two.
Talfencia.
So of all of them, the only ones that were against you was Krigajard, the Earth one, and Praktinic, the
From what I
Storm
remember,
one.
Artinic didn't really care.
Yeah, he didn't really
He
care.
was just
Yeah, he was
an
just
asshole.
being. Yeah.
It was the Earth one that hates us because Deimos killed the sun.
Mm-hmm. Impression that Praktinic would join if the others were. Or others were. Would. Can't speak. Would Praktinic join if the others did?
Sounded like it.
They said that they would. They don't want to get involved in the affairs of humankind. They've kept a distance for thousands of years, and the only reason that they revealed themselves was because there was a dragon call at the top of the summit. They said that, but they owe a great debt to Antares Saber for saving one of their own.
Yes.
And they said they would respond to his call again, if he called them. But other than that, if you want to try to talk to them, otherwise individually, you can try to find them and go talk to them. That too.
No, my question was did we get the impression Praktinic would print, but would he if all the others were convinced to do it, would he do it, or do we have to convince him as well as has a dead son?
Yeah, he was more on the fence.
Okay.
He's sympathetic with Krigajard, but if Krigajard, you get the sense that if Krigajard went your way, that would be enough to sway Praktinic.
Okay, so yeah, it's either we either convince Antares to waste his one-time use of dragon attack on Inkamel, or we convince Krigajard that we're not bad people.
She says, or you could convince the ones who are allied with you to become involved independent of the others. It might not take them all, but it would take several.
Let's see, there was one that was really sympathetic with us.
So the ones
Who
who
was
like
it?
the flame ones really like you. The Zerbor and Mirex, those two, the
Yeah.
fire ones.
And the one with
Shaylin
Antares.
is with Antares. Obviously, she goes where he goes. And Nebularos.
I don't think Nebularis would help us, because he's kind
You
of
can
like
ask
the
him.
leader.
Um,
I think you'd say independent, but that's just opinion.
I was gonna say one more thing. Wasn't there another one? Another female?
Yes, Tyaphensia, the water.
Yeah.
So the
Didn't she like us a lot?
Isn't... I thought the water one was... Never mind.
Shaylin is the ice dragon.
Ice.
Well, Shaylin let me use the power. Like, she blessed
Yeah.
me. That's why I have the cool staff now. So she might be able to help us if we go help. What's his face? Kill that monkey real quick, and then she can help us tuck in at least Cerebor and Merrick's
Well-
into helping us.
If Antares agrees to help, she'll probably help. They're like a group deal.
Yeah. But what about the water dragon? Did she like us? Like, did she see? I thought I remember her being really sympathetic to us.
You actually didn't talk to her much at all. She was she was one of the only ones you didn't talk to.
Misremembering. Okay.
I'm down for whatever you guys gotta do. If we gotta teleport anywhere, just use my spell slot. I'll be back as soon as I can. Work.
We've got to get some good persuasion checks going.
I'll figure it out. I'm kind of blind the whole thing. So, whatever you guys want to go.
Well, I mean, we can decide as a group what we think the best plan is. We have
You
our
decide.
three op. I decide.
Just make a decision, man. I don't care. I don't think anyone cares. Just pick a direction.
I think we should go Earth guy to like Deimos. Maybe Deimos can perch some flirt on now that he's a woman.
Okay, time to go punch some dirt. Let's go punch some dirt. Look up whatever the dirt dragon is called.
Krigashard. Okay. You ask the observation deck operator to find, locate, and reveal Krigashard to you. As he speaks the name and activates the runic sequence, you guys are taken underground, and you see this monstrous, massive creature moving deep beneath the surface of the world, moving through the earth almost as if it were like water. And he's very large. He's moving quickly, and then he you see him approaching a location, and he begins to surface, getting near the crust, up, like basically coming up to poke his head up close to the surface of the earth, and he brings himself up close, and he just sits and listens. You can see that above him there's also he's basically under the ground of a fairly middle-sized town somewhere in the world, and it looks like
Can
he
we
too is
teleport
looking
there?
for something. You want to teleport there?
Teleport, you want to come with us? Meet Earth Dragon? Maybe get killed? Come on.
Ava says, "That would be quite the adventure. We would certainly be interested in meeting." She looks at him. She says, "Lord Kriegeshide."
Let's go then.
Uh, before we go, quick question for the DM about our in-game knowledge. If Inkamel is able to become as powerful as an actual Trask and bring about the end times,
Mhm.
is he?
What about it?
He's that powerful? Does he have the ability to do that?
No, he never got the catalyst, the Black Lotus.
Okay. Well, there goes an argument point for us, but I'll think of something else.
He could still probably destroy the world.
Yeah. Yeah, we can teleport there. I want a quick
Blowjob?
king
What?
here.
Come on.
Okay. Telephos. Ava says, "Do you wish to travel now?"
Yes.
She
We have to
looks
do
at
something.
Telephos. Says, "Very well. Says, let us go." Telephos takes his staff. He does have a staff, and he plants it in the middle of the platform. He just stomps it on the ground, and you see him trace like a, a small rune and arcane sequence on the ground. And as he does that, it begins to ring out from around him in concentric circles, encompassing a good 10-foot radius circle around him. You recognize the elements of a teleport circle spell, but you gather that this version of it that he's casting would be able to take you to places that did not have a target teleportation circle for you to go to. Ava says, "Then join us." She steps into the circle.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, you
I
guys
still can't
all
believe-
Right along.
go on. What were you saying, Luke or Albrecht?
I was going to say I can't believe the decision was left up to me, but that's just.
Paul, if you feel better, Damos's probably would be very similar, if not the same. We're both dumb meatheads.
I like to think of myself as a strategist, so I thought this was the easiest route.
What's your intelligence?
Is
Worst thing is, we die. Big deal.
And we all know that no matter what you picked, Euphemia will back you up on the plan because she said she's
exactly that's
totally
my
going along with it. Yep.
Okay.
right now.
You guys teleport far, far away. So if this is the map, all right, you guys are in a town, or underneath a small desert kind of location, and you guys arrive somewhere over here, as best as you can tell. All right,
Oop.
this is like nomadic tribe land gathered. You're underneath some kind of settlement there. It's made up of tents. You can tell it's meant to be picked up and packed away and moved quickly. And you get there and you look around, and there are a number of dark-skinned, very swarthy and sharp-eyed looking human beings around you, wearing just like white cloths over their heads, and you gather that they are that this is like a group of nomadic raiders. They all have these wicked-looking scimitars at their hips, and several dozen of them turn as you guys appear, kind of like on the outskirts of their town, and
Can
they
I say,
begin
like,
to move towards you.
What up?
Mhm.
What up?
They shout back in a language you don't really understand.
I'm gonna do east side sign.
What's that?
East side.
What's that?
I don't know.
They start moving
Someone's-
towards you. By now, there's several dozen of them that have come to the outskirts of town. You see them reaching for weapons and grabbing bows, and arrows, and a couple of them are riding on these fairly large-looking lizard-like creatures with scaly armored backs and spiked tails, and they start moving in your direction. Right now they're about 30 feet away, and they're talking at you confrontationally, but you don't really understand their language.
Deimos will stick his hands in the air because I'm just a defenseless, poor, dainty lady.
You hear them all of them stop for a second, and they're like they're shouting and they're pointing at you and they're yelling and a couple of them point their bows straight at you.
Well, my hands are up in the air, and I will be saying, all right, guys, what the fuck are they saying?
I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna say I have absolutely no idea, and I'm gonna look at Telephos because he's the word master.
Ava says to you all, she
Guys that
says,
can't talk.
What? You ain't talking. I ain't talking. You're the bard. You're supposed to talk.
she says,
I think with the other bard.
she says, here, Deimos, allow me, and she casts comprehend languages on you.
Oh, shit. I say, what's up, everybody? I'm just a dainty, little, defenseless poor lady who got lost.
Say-
Could you fine young, strapping gentleman come over here and help me?
They say, and they shout out at you. Say, what are you, outsider, that comes and appears from the sky?
Well, this right over here, as I point to Elwyn, is the fire god of the sky. This, I point at Albrecht. This man here, he is the dwarf with more muscle than height. I point at Telephos. I'm like, don't piss him off. Then I point at Euphemia and says, she will turn your parts into other parts.
And say,
And I'm Deimos. Hi, how we doing?
you would threaten us? You come to take our riches and our treasures that we have worked and raided for. And they
How
begin
could,
to
like,
point their
6
arrows,
of us-
and there's more of
how
them
could 6
coming
of
up
us
behind them.
take your guys' stuff? How could 6 of us take your guys' stuff?
Say,
We're here
because you are the fire god from the sky and the man who is wider than tall, and that's one who will take our parts and transform into others. And you,
but-
the most hideous creature of all.
Oh yeah. I say, wow, that's hurtful.
That is true.
Why don't you guys us people, if we could come in here and take your stuff, we probably would have done that already. But you guys seem like strapping young lads, and we're here to just pass through. We just got to go talk to a big stone dragon. We really
There's
don't
none
care
such
about you
thing
guys.
here.
Okay.
We
How
think
about
you
this?
come from. We think you come from one who wishes us dead.
I
We
don't
will not
care.
fall for that.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I will wave
we will
my
kill
hand
you
and I'll be
first.
like, okay, other guys, what do you guys think? I say, can you bring out your biggest, toughest, strongest guy here?
Deimos, what are they saying? Can we kill them now?
They're trying to say stuff about that we're coming to take their riches, but we're not taking.
They have
their
riches?
Oh no!
We could use some riches.
We could.
Yeah, we could.
We just spent
I
a lot
just
of our
say-
riches.
Hey, bring out your leader. I shall go take dominance over your group, and you shall all work for Miss Deimos. Unless he's too afraid to fight this poor defenseless young chick.
He spits on the ground. He says, "You are not worthy to see our leader.
I
We will bring you to him, but we will bring your dead corpses."
All right, seriously, bro. Yeah. Okay, how about this? I start walking over there. I say, "Oh, I'm just a dainty little lady. You can't hurt a dainty little lady." And then I'm just gonna be like, if you guys shoot at a dainty little lady or you're afraid of a dainty lady, I think that actually makes you just I guess just a big old bitch. That'd be short. I assume everybody would agree that if you that it takes 30 men to go shoot arrows at a dainty little lady. When I
Who
get
are you
see-
talking
see-
to?
You see some of the men. So, you guys want to explain it to him?
yeah, there's guys.
So,
who think-
Euphemia left the decision up to me on what to do, and I chose to go talk to Krigazard, and see if we can convince him to help us against the Tarask.
Mm-hmm.
We teleported to his location, and we teleported outside this nomadic town, and these guys started threatening us. Deimos' assistant cast comprehend languages on Deimos, and he's trying to convince them that we are stronger than them and that they shouldn't mess with us.
Well, you guys are stronger. I'm just a defenseless, dainty little lady.
Step aside, Deimos.
Oh, okay. I step aside. Wait, we're not supposed to blow them up. Oh, that works too.
I will awe them with my super awesome draconic presence and tell them we have come in peace. All we need to do is speak with the great Krigasard.
Okay.
Get the
You
fuck
see
out
them
the way.
all just they cower, and some of them drop their weapons, and they just all drop down to the ground. And Deimos, you hear a couple of them like screaming and yelling, and the one in front says, "We don't understand what the fire god from the sky is saying, but
Oh.
his
Don't
strength
fuck with
is
them."
overwhelming us."
Mhm.
I used awe, not fear.
Okay.
But yeah, you should. Yeah.
In a nutshell, let us be and let us find who we need to find.
You say, "Please, do whatever you wish. We will not contest you."
Good. Well, you, you can call me lady and friends. We will be passing through. Then I'm
He nods, and he shouts back, and the people begin to move away from you.
I'm gonna go
They're-
find a treasure tent and raid it.
No,
No.
you will not.
Yes, I am. That's what I'm doing.
Deimos, I want you to denounce Euphemia from our party to the villagers so they can kill her.
Nah, she can do that. That's fine.
I don't
Basically
want to do that.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it.
All right, Euphemia, you see that they're raiders, so they all they own what they've captured. So there's there's several dozen tents here. It's a fairly large tribe. So you're counting out 30 or 40 different tents. You look in a couple of them, and you see small caches, a few gold pieces, mostly lots of like fine silks, and
I'm just gonna look for any magic items.
I'm gonna drop my
See
draconic
why-
presence. I'm gonna stop draconic
Okay.
pressencing again.
So Euphemia, you cast detect magic, and as you walk around, you're basically looking for anything magical. Go ahead and roll me a d20. You're not able to find anything in the area magical.
Okay.
They seem pretty much like swords and bows and arrows, kind of simple tribe of nomadic raiders. Okay, what are you guys doing?
So quick planning meeting before we talk to Kriegazard. Is Deimos dead and this is our new party member, or do we just try to
What?
avoid the topic of Deimos altogether?
I never died. I'm right here. Oh, I get it. You can
The
call
best
me
strategy is that.
Lady Deimos.
What are you doing?
Elwyn, Euphemia, what do you think the best strategy regarding Deimos is?
Kill him now? What? What kind of question is
Talking
that?
to Kriegazard, do we lie and say that Deimos is dead, or do we avoid this topic of Deimos altogether?
No, we're gonna tell him. We're gonna tell him that Deimos, as a penitence for his actions in the past, has decided to
Become his wife.
suffer.
He's going to
in,
marry the dragon.
No.
Yes.
suffer in a body of not his choosing until
I still think he should
his
marry the
penance
dragon.
has been completed,
Okay.
and that sign of sacrifice should be enough to show him that Deimos is sorry.
I'm not going to bring it up, but if he brings it up, that's the story. Are we all good with that?
I mean, I guess so.
I still think he should marry the dragon.
Um, But
Or at least be his bitch for a night.
Mm. I'd make my new husband do crazy shit.
okay.
Basically, fucking a mountain.
I go about this just to be try to summon him on the rock since he is a rock dragon, and just shout his name and tell him we come to talk peace with him.
There are a
Oh, wait,
number of
hold-
large rock outcroppings in the area, yes.
God damn it!
Didn't
What
it
the
kill-
fuck's up with people today? Sorry, I gotta go again. Just don't let Deimos talk.
Plan.
Deimos is definitely talking.
Back.
This is his shit.
Okay.
Real quick, did he threaten to kill us last time he saw us, or did he just?
I think he did.
Yeah, but it was because the blood of the blood of his son was on your hands, so he was quite angry. But he will also honor the decision of the council. You gathered that much.
Okay. Because I'm just wondering if I summon him, are we dead? Is the question.
There's
Well,
one way to
we'll
find
find
out.
out.
Summon him. How are you gonna summon him?
Yeah. So basically he's under the ground in this area.
Yeah. So my plan is just to shout his name out loud and try to get his attention as best as I can.
Okay. So where are you gonna do that?
A fair amount of distance from the town.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper something to Light.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll walk a fair distance from the town, and I'm going to just shout into the air, "Oh, great Krigazard, come to talk with you to negotiate peace and to seek your help." And cross my fingers behind my back.
Okay. As you begin to shout out, you notice you see Televos wave his hand, and your voice it's amplified, and it resounds and it booms through the whole area much louder than it normally would. And you're a pretty big guy, so you would be able to shout pretty loud. But amplified by Televos' magic, you can also feel the ground underneath you vibrating as you shout out this proclamation. That's how loud you were shouting. It was like even shaking the ground around you.
I give him a thumbs up.
The tremors subside, and you find yourself waiting with nothing happening. And then 5 minutes later, the tremors return, except different. The ground beneath you begins to shake and to vibrate, and different rock outcroppings around you begin to move, and a big stone just juts out of the ground right in front of you and tears up the earth, and you can see plumes of dust and debris and stuff begin to fall away from it as a massive rock skull, basically the head of Krigashard, begins to emerge in front of you. It's huge, it's 40 feet across, and by the time his face emerges from the ground beneath you, it's towering 60 feet up in the air. And Krigashard is now facing you. He's maybe 20 feet away from you. And you hear his voice kind of boom through the area. It says,
Who are you to summon me? I know your scent. I felt your presence, but I am beholden to no one. Speak your piece, and I will decide whether or not you die this day.
I say, granting me the time in your presence, O Great One. Today, the world faces a mighty threat in the form of a man named Inkmel, who has taken on the powers of a Tarask and is threatening to destroy the entire world. It is only through your help and the rest of the Dragon's Council that we can beat him.
He pauses for a second and says,
Where is the one who slew my son? He is not here. Has he fled me? Did you take his life and break him beneath your own hands to appease me?
No, I have not. But he has done something to himself, all his past actions. And I'll gesture towards Lady Deimos, and I said, he has put himself into a body of not his own choosing, in penitence, and he will stay there until for his penitence to be over.
Deimos, this large, basically this hill. You're talking to a hill, a rock hill in front of you. It's just his head turns towards you. You can feel the ground rumble as his gaze focuses on you. He says,
You are the one.
I look at Elwyn and Elbrick, because I've been keeping my mouth shut. And I'm like,
Dude, go for it. You got this.
Just say answer yes.
Say yeah.
You assume that taking on this form would
he says,
appease my wrath for the death of my only child. What foolishness is this?
I'm going to interject real quick and say, by doing so, he has also removed the stench that came with that action and has removed it from this plane of existence. And I'm just crossing my fingers at this point.
Didn't we all kill the dude? I'm just thinking
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Shush.
Well, technically it was a Tempest, or not Tempest. Whatever the god is.
Yeah, Tempest.
It was his mission.
Deimos, do your call to Tempest thing and hope you roll 19 or lower, and Tempest can explain to this stupid dragon why.
See, I think Tempest's charisma might be lower than Deimos's charisma.
No,
Tempest
he's
might
a
just
guy.
come
He's kinda-
down and he'll be like, hey, shut up, I'm Tempest, and then he's gonna kill the dragon.
I can agree with Deimos on this.
I am crossing my fingers at this point and hoping I can survive.
Tell him you'll be with bitch for a night.
Yeah, that's all we got left, honestly.
So now you're going with my idea. Oh, I see.
Yo, Craig. A shard lord man, dragon of rock and things. We all know that even the other people the other dragon man, big guys explained to you how, he was corrupt, and he wasn't even of his own mind. So by that thing, your son died long, long ago. We were just putting him to rest and to peace.
I'll interject and also say, you know that this battle in the heavens has caused much damage throughout the world. Even the mighty have done things that they regret. And this is the time where we need your help. You live in this universe as well as we do. Help me out, Albert.
And this threat that faces the world truly could, this threat that exists can truly end the world as you know it, and then you would not be alive either.
I hear the demons want to turn all dirt and ground into jelly because they love jello.
If you truly want revenge for the death of your son, would you not take vengeance upon those that corrupted him?
Deimos nods his head.
I'll give Elwyn a thumbs up behind my back and nod my head as well. I think that's all we got though. Should we roll our persuasion checks?
I don't know. It almost seems like he's putting together a character sheet real fast to destroy us. Or a battle map.
That is what I'm worried about.
Hey, look at the bright side of things. Since I haven't had to teleport us everywhere, I can teleport us out right now.
I know, that's what I hope I clarified that. That's what would be a very good idea before the.
Hey, Mr. Super Silent
Hey.
Mage guy, why don't you say something?
Also, Mr. Krigga Lord, if you, it looks like you're looking for something. If it could be any small constellation to appease you, at least for a while, so we can do the greater good. And once all this greater good goes away, we can always settle the difference. But there's something more important to do. We could help you with that.
Krigazard sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, we got like we
Does.
got small dexterous fingers.
I'll throw a Master Ball. Did I get him?
I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard to miss.
I'm just curious. Is Midas? Are you still there, or did you time out?
Oh, my microphone was muted. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we were just talking the whole time.
Shit, sorry. Yeah, shit. Deimos, persuasion check. Advantage, and you can add a plus a d4. into
And
your
you can
result.
use my persuasion skill.
No, Deimos' persuasion skill. You can add a
You
d4.
get a plus 13
We
to that.
all talked.
I know.
Yeah.
It started out with Deimos. He was just going to roll a persuasion check. When Elwyn talked, it was an advantage. When you talked to Albrecht, you added a d4 to Deimos. You are all supporting him and helping him.
Euphemia
All right.
talked as well. I think it should be like a D8.
Euphemia was trying to lie to him, talking about Jello. She had to roll deception for that shit.
Oh,
Yes,
well, okay.
she takes away the advantage and the...
No.
My deception is really high.
All right.
You want to roll deception check on the Jello?
Sure.
Go ahead, roll it.
If she makes it, does Deimos get a D6?
Yeah, he can add. He can make it a d10.
We might need that.
Deception.
Freaking Deimos always roll these persuasion rolls. Oh, gosh
I've
dang,
never
-2.
wanted Euphemia to roll well. Oh, not bad.
You can. He's a bit confused by what you said. Doesn't make sense. You can change it to a d6.
Okay.
So persuasion check, advantage, and add a d6.
All right, so I'm hoping that he's not that smart because he believes something, even like a little tiny bit about Jello.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
Yes!
Oh.
Deimos, I love you.
With your persuasion.
Hey, hey,
Deimos,
hey,
I love
hey,
you.
dude, I'm still a guy. Don't look at me just because of my sexy body.
No, like I love your mind right now. That's what I'm in love with.
You see the eyes of this massive, ancient, proud creature in front of you. I'm just gazing at you with intensity, Deimos. And as you talk about his son and about the war in the heavens and about the curse that's befallen them and how you were actually bringing his son to rest, you swear you see in this stone visage and in his his sharp, gem-like eyes, a bit of remorse and a bit of emotion behind them. He says,
Don't say that.
he says,
You have spoken truth. My offspring had wandered from me, and his mind had been long gone. Perhaps what you did was free him. However, I cannot forgive the spilling of his blood. My requirements for you, Deimos, the one who initiated, who broke my son and spilled his lifeblood across the earth. Stay in your broken penitent form. Relieve yourself of your manhood. Promise
right.
and swear, and I will lend my voice to the council.
I drop Trow and I show him there is no manhood.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Then may your punishment stay with you for the rest of your days. If the dragons call upon me to aid in this battle, I will be there.
and you can see him begin to recede slowly beneath the ground.
I turn around and be like, guys, it worked.
I'm just gonna cover my eyes so you pull your trousers back up.
Oh yeah, I didn't pull this up yet.
Bro,
You
I'm
see
gonna ask you a very, very important question, Deimos.
what?
Are you gonna start taking the D, or are you gonna go Lesbo?
Dude, total lesbo.
Nice.
Total lesbo.
Oh my
Awesome.
Hey,
god.
Albert,
You see,
I'm gonna chase Albert
see-
around.
you see Ava, like hiding behind Telephos. She takes a couple steps back behind Telephos, just very nonchalantly and inconspicuously.
I,
I'm gonna tell her, don't worry, he's only got ice for Euphemia.
I'm gonna get you, girl. Come over here, Euphemia. Come on. Man, check this out.
I've been so happy in my life. I'm seriously so happy right now.
Deimos turns around, he's looking at his head, he starts doing the Euphemia with his butt, just starts jiggling it. It's kind of like twerking.
Oh my god. Oh.
Ava pops her head out from behind Telephos. Yeah, you missed last week, Albert. It was nuts.
I gotta go watch
she's-
that video then.
Yeah, it's online. She says, "That seemed to have been successful. And we're very glad that we did not have to fight that creature. Telephos is not sure if we would have been able to be victorious."
Now,
Just- I-
we still got an issue though. It took
What's
us
our
a
issue?
week. It took us over a week to summon the dragons to do the council last time. And we have like what, less than 5 days?
I don't think it'll
Yeah, 5
take
days.
that long this time. Because they
Yeah.
were all hidden last time, was the thing. This time they're all
Yeah.
out searching the world.
Now all we have to do is get Nebularis and tell him that we got Craigie on our side, and
Well, we
that
just go back to the summoning
Yeah.
area.
I mean, we still have light. He can summon Nebularis, right?
Yeah, Light can make the call.
Back
I'm gonna
to
call-
the-
I'm gonna tell Light. From this point on, I'm gonna call you Splinter.
It's like, shut up.
I
Should
missed
we
that. That
go-
reference is going right over my head.
Tree.
Because there's a tree. Or I'm gonna call him Professor Oak.
Anyway,
Well, if you want his wood, you can just bend over.
Oh.
Why are you into beastie? Why are you into that, Euphemia? Deimos pulls his pants up and he shakes
you
his
want
head.
some? You
He's
want
like,
some burn cream for that?
that's not even funny. That's gross. Why would you? Ugh, that's nasty.
Oh damn!
So
That
should
was a
we
good
go
one.
help? Should we go help the pirate guy?
It's either we do it that way and then Shaylin summons all the dragons, or we go to the mount and summon Nevularos and tell him
Well,
of
if we don't
all the
help her and the pirate guy defeat the monkey, then there might be a while before they get there, because they probably will have to kill the monkey before they start making their way to the summoning.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
that's
sure.
actually-
I'm pretty sure she's got to do whatever Nebula says. Shaylin might be a little pissed off, but I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck about
but isn't she bound to him? So her
By
contract
word
with him
only.
is kind of
Like
More
she's
important.
interested in him, like
No,
not
she
in
owes
that
him a
way,
blood
but
debt. She owes him a
oh,
blood debt.
she does.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she.
We don't
can't
need all the
bound
dragons
him.
though. They can hunt the monkey
Yes,
while
we
we get
do.
the rest of them.
We need all the dragons for them to agree.
She agreed to help. It's just that she's got other shit to do. It was this
Yeah.
guy that was saying no. Whatever you guys want, I'm down. For
I think
whatever.
I do like the idea of going to kill the monkey, mainly because I want a combat scene. So
Monkey it is then.
Okay.
Does he remember where the monkey was? And is he ready for battle?
You guys have the communication stone.
Stones. Yeah. You
Can
just
he
teleport
lock
to
onto
that.
that? And is he ready for battle? Because that's where we want to
Tele-
go.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell him we
who-
want to
are you talking
go
about-
help and
Okay, okay. Telephos?
Close.
Okay. All right. So he nods, and he stamps his staff on the ground again, and he begins to swirl it around, and the sands fly up. The sand dusts up in the air real quick as the radiating circles of energy form around him, and he casts his teleportation spell, and you guys arrive in the lush green land of Skignash, and you guys, as you get there, let me go 1 second here and set this up. That's there. And one more. I think I have them. Okay. Okay, you arrive to see Antares' saber in the air, squaring off with this massive creature, this massive demonic monkey.
Oh, that's big.
Okay.
That's alright.
Alright, so you guys arrive in this plane, and Antares is actually over here. He's up in the air. You see him firing his guns at this monkey. This monkey is blooded. There's streaks of demonic, like, ichor just pouring down his chest and stuff, and you see him emit this howling, piercing scream and lash out a flame attack from the green flames on his back, firing it at Antares. Antares deathly swoops to the side, and it narrowly evades him. Everybody, you can just go ahead and roll initiative.
Woo! I gotta go put stuff.
Okay, I'll roll for light, I guess.
Wait, so I have disadvantage on initiative rolls from now on?
Oh, roll a d20. Yes, on this one you did. You're as you try to spring into action, your body is overcome by a pulse of tremors and shakes, and you find yourself distracted by it, and you react more slowly than you would have normally. Okay. All right, the top of initiative, and Terry's is there. He fires off another burst of gunfire at this creature. He has his full itinerary of blazing weapons and stuff going, and this thing is bloodied already. So you see him just blasting at him. The creature, not seeing you guys yet, does something similar. Attacks at Antares, like I just described. Fire goes his way. He misses. Albric, you were the first to react once you land. What do you do?
Let's see. How far away is he?
And Elwin, you're next.
65 within range. I'm going to run and bonus action dash and into him.
Okay.
So I can't rage because I bonus action dashed, but I can do this, 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 this. With my brand new greatsword. That hits,
Okay.
so I can do this.
Definitely hit.
And attack. That hits.
Hits.
It's great sword, by the way, Midas, and that's my turn.
Okay. Yeah. You just come up to the creature, and you just get to hack into its leg. The creature screams as it's been struck from a direction it was not planning on being attacked from. As it does so, you can see it focus on you, Albric, as its legendary action, and you need to make a wisdom saving throw, which you fail, and you find yourself just suddenly paralyzed as you swing the second wave of your axe of your sword through it. Suddenly your body freezes up, and you see yourself frozen there as this demon's hateful gaze has focused straight upon you.
Interesting.
Okay, Elwin.
I will move right there, and I will cast. Let me twin. Forgot how to sorcerer. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna twin a haste spell on Albric and Deimos.
Ooh.
I can get both of them there.
Does that negate my paralyzed?
I don't think so, but you'll be hasted whenever you're not paralyzed anymore.
He cast hold monster on you.
Oh, it was so spell?
Albric, yeah. It was he cast hold monster on Albric.
Can I change that? I thought it was just like a
Aurora.
yeah, like
Aurora.
a special
Oh.
effect.
Oh yeah, I mean, what would you have done? Would you have counterspelled it or something?
No, I would have on my turn. I would have dispelled magic on it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna remove the haste from Deimos and. Okay, so I removed the haste and I will
Okay.
cast dispel magic on it. It's a 5th level spell, so I think I have to roll my charisma thing.
Yeah. And you
There
pass.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and it obliterates the hold that's on you, Albric.
2, 3. So I'm getting my 3 sorcery points back, and then I will quicken a. This dude's fiery, right?
Yes.
An acid splash.
Don't hit me.
Fails. Bitch. That is my turn, sir.
Okay. As the acid strikes him, it doesn't do any damage. Euphemia, you're
Good
up.
to know.
Okay, well. Not sure. I thought I had more time.
The team was rolled really low. It's you and Light.
Okay, I'm gonna let Light do whatever Light wants to do. Just as long as he doesn't get eaten by the ape, I'm gonna jump off of him.
Okay.
So. I'll move up here. I will do. I will cast Blink on myself. And I'll do my voice where everyone has bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And that's about all I can do. And I will vanish.
Okay. Light on his turn is going to fly up in the air. He's going to try to do a sweeping pass of... Yeah, he's got plenty of distance to be able to do that. Targets him with a...
Oh, yeah, I think you made me target him.
Oops. Targets him with a cold breath. The guy rolls a natural 1 to fail, and Light blasts him in the face with cold, and you can see that the cold does an incredible amount of damage to him. Light sweeps off into the air with a very proud and triumphant look on his face. Deimos, your turn.
Deimos is gonna start yelling and charge up power, and he'll go Super Deimos mode level 1. Then I'll sprint over here, a movement, and I'll use that 1 extra attack to punch him. And then I'll do the thing, turn my bonus action to attack too. And that's me, baby.
Okay, legendary action. It lashes out at you, Deimos, with a claw attack. Misses. Alright. At the top of the initiative, Antari's Saber is going to burn an Infernal Ammunition charge as he attacks it. Hits. Infernal Ammunition for this much damage. His twin revolver also fires. One second here. Something's wrong with this stat sheet. Oh well.
Yeah, it does 72 damage.
That's not wrong. That's the There's something wrong with his plus to attack. It should be. He doesn't have a plus 23 to attack. Or maybe he does. The other one doesn't. Whatever. Okay, that was first attack. Second attack, fires, hits, does this much damage, and this much damage with his automatic crit. His second gun. Final attack. Hits. And crits. Okay. On its turn, this creature is going to like monkey move over here. Deimos, you can get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna save my reaction in case I need to do something else.
Okay. And as it stands here, all the creatures within 30 feet, which is everyone around him except Euphemia, you see its green fiery hair begin to burst and blaze, and a golden yellow flame mixed with the green begins to surge out from around him, and a wave of heat pulses all around you. Everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
I
and
have
take
advantage.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
I'm gonna bubble up as my
Okay, bubble
reaction,
up.
baby.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, that was a check.
So it's okay. Plus 7. Oh, you would have succeeded. Elwyn, you still fail. So Albrecht, we're gonna
Sorry,
turn this into a success for you. So you're gonna take half this damage once it hits you. Okay. You're gonna take this damage off you, basically. As a wave of fire and acid comes burning out in a circle all around him. Elwyn, you took the right amount. Deimos, yes. Resisted 10. Albrecht
Okay.
took
And then I
73.
had
So
5
take that
temps
73
as
and
well.
half it. Yeah.
73 and half.
So that 73 damage you took, cut it in half. So you really take 36. You
Okay.
gain back 36, basically.
Should I just take it off because
Okay.
of the bubble?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's his turn. Albrecht, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to rage out. And I'm going to move. Oh, I'm not going to move. Never mind. 15 feet in a straight line this way. And that counts. Little charger. Great weapon master. And attack. Oh, did I forget to add reckless abandon?
You still hit.
Anyways.
Yeah. If you did great weapon master, it still hits.
Oh, double ones.
Plus 28 though.
That's my turn because I rage as a bonus action.
Okay. After your turn, he is going to use his legendary action and cast, and not cast, breathe a burst of flame that comes this way. Basically in the direction of Albrecht and Deimos and the light.
Okay.
He kind of steps over here and breathes like a cone like this
No.
of
Now,
fire.
would my shield still be up, or is it just for that second?
It's still up, so you don't take any damage.
Alright.
I'll target you.
Does Euphemia get an attack of opportunity?
She's in the
Euphemia's in the opposite realm. This is the ethereal
upside
realm.
down.
Yes. Another dexterity saving throw. You succeed.
Oh, yeah.
You take half this.
Did it half it already?
No, it didn't take any. You didn't take any. It just drops you. So take half of that. So 33. Okay. That was his legendary action. So now it's Elwyn's turn.
I will cast Ice Storm on that motherfucker. Does it have any legendary or anything?
It does.
So, I will half this.
But actually, it'll yeah. So let's see here. Half
Yeah.
17, but it's also vulnerable. So it takes. Yeah, that's perfect.
And I will.
Is there a button to half it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay, I see
Up.
it. Never mind.
yeah. And then I will fly diagonally over here, so I'm like 15 feet on
Okay.
top of the ground. And that's my turn.
All right, Euphemia. Euphemia, your turn.
Yep, sorry, was muted. So I reappear 10 feet well forward. Now pull that more up. And I'm targeting him. Okay. So I will cast a level 9 sword. So that's 9 attacks. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus my bonus attack.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Ooh. Okay, so you had 9 hits and 1 crit.
Shouldn't she only have 9 attacks total?
Plus 1 bonus.
Oh.
Because she has a bonus action attack. So 9 hits, 1 crit.
Yeah, nice.
That's her 9th level spell. That's her basic.
Ooh. Ah. Okay. So how do I do the crit thing again?
You hold shift.
Shift. Okay, there's crit.
Oh, that silver
work?
dagger
Or
got
you use
him.
your dagger.
Whoops. Yeah, that was the wrong one.
Yeah, I'll redo that. Go ahead. Okay, that's a crit, and then 9 hits. Okay.
And there's this. And I shift to the other round. And I guess I'll just pass them over here. So that's where is it?
100. Ooh.
81.
Alright, yeah, you did like, between all those attacks and everything, a ton of damage to him. Okay.
Yeah, that was my level 9 spell, so
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Alright, Light is out of his breath attack, so he's going to continue flying away, or hovering up in the air. Deimos, you're up.
Kind of do the same thing. Leaping through the
Okay.
air, start pounding this guy's back.
Alright, so this is, yeah, this big fiery monkey as you're slamming into his thick, muscular form, black and, you know, dark green demonic bile and fluid is like seeping from the wounds that you guys are inflicting on him. He lets out these howling monk ape-like cries that are hauntingly eerie. But you can tell that you guys are doing serious damage to him, except for that natural one.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to pull that over. How do I do this again?
I got it. I did. Okay. Alright. As a legendary action, he is going to again fire up his flaming corona, the fire and blaze around him from his monkey hair. Dexterity checks on you guys. Those 3 around him. Albric, you might want to roll again for advantage.
Yeah. Huh.
You still fail. Oops. My bad. I double clicked that. Sorry. Alright. There you go. Deimos, you're... Oh, you're not concentrating, are you?
Yeah, I need to fix this thing so it doesn't pop off every time.
Okay. That was his legendary action. It is now... Oh. That's normal action. And then he's... Oh, that was legendary action. And then he's going to turn on his action. He's going to turn and he's going to swing at Deimos.
Doesn't Antares have a turn?
Oh, yeah, he
He's
does.
next. Nah.
Antares is first. Antares... They actually tied in initiative.
Oh.
Alright. Antares is going to target him, and he's going to burn off his second round of Infernal Ammunition. Fires at him. Hits, so he does damage here. And does damage here with his crit. Attack again. Hits. There. Crit. Last time attack. Hits. Sharpshooter this time, and sneak attack. There we go. Now, on his turn, he is going to swing at you, Albric.
Finally. I want to freaking use my sword. It's not going to matter on this turn.
Attack number 1. This massive pair of jaws comes clamping down on you. Followed up by a melee attack with a claw.
That's 1 out of my range. 1 out of my range.
Okay. And then Deimos, he's going to swing at you. Twice with his claws. Ooh, I hit you.
That you targeted me again.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. I was like, when he swings at me, just because I feel like being a butthole, might as well get away with it. I'll use my
Oh,
reaction.
there it is.
And-
Alright, well, he's
I'm
natural
fine.
20ing
Never
you.
mind.
His last attack.
I catch it. I catch it.
You catch it? Yeah, you catch this.
You hit like
There
a
you go.
bitch.
Alright, that's his turn. Albric, you're up.
Oh, that didn't feel good. I want to move 15 feet in a straight line again. Target him. All the fixins. Am I missing any of the fixins? Oh, and I will be using some of my hit dice.
Okay. How many? You gotta call it first. It does hit him, by the way.
Yeah, I somehow untargeted him. We'll probably use just one on the first attack. So here's the damage.
Okay.
Double ones again.
Roll your hit
Plus
dice.
this. Another one.
Alright.
We'll use another singular hit dice.
Okay, that's a hit. There you go,
There's
double
some
sixes.
damage.
There you go,
there's-
look at that.
Yeah. Kicked armor. And I will expend 2 hit dice this time.
Okay.
1, 2. There we go. I like that. Yeah,
roll
spiked
damage?
armor damage. Oh, and he takes 8 points of damage from my.
Describe what
bit me.
happens as you kill this massive flaming monkey.
As my spiked gauntlets come, as I am coming in with a gigantic punching swing, we're just going to hit him directly in the between the eyes and smash through his head.
Okay. He was bending
Right
down
before-
to bite you anyway. Go on.
Right before the last hit that takes him down, I'm gonna yell at him, Asante-san, a squash banana, wee wee, na 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 na.
So Albrecht, when he could come down to bite you, and he did bite you, his head was on your level, and you managed to slash at him, tearing his face apart with your sword, and your final attack with your spiked armor, right between the eyes, breaks through the skull, the weak bone between the eyes, punches through, penetrating into his skull. You go like full arm deep into his head with your offhand, your left arm. And you can see the dull glow in his eyes begin to flicker, and the flame on the back of his head gets snuffed out as his whole body goes limp and collapses down to the ground. It smells like complete death. The demonic smell is actually you're familiar with this scent because you've been in the abyss before when you killed Clovis, but it just smells like ass down here. But the monkey is dead and slain. All right, and Terry's steps up to where he is, points one gun, points the barrel of one of his guns at the now dead creature's head, and fires one more round into it, splattering bile and gore and blood everywhere. Just had to be sure. You never know with these things. He looks at you while he says, I didn't need help. Why are you here?
Speeding up the process, baby.
I'll say to him, we're actually not here for you, for your girlfriend. We've managed to convince, what's his face? Trigazard, there we go.
Pokemon.
Trigazard,
We're going cray.
help us in the fight against Inkmel, and we are trying to rally all the dragons so we can go kill him before he destroys Ospium.
Popping out from behind like a tree, you see her, the human form of Shayland. You know, still kind of cat-like and feral in her movements. She kind of just pops her head out at an odd angle and says, "Convince the one made of stone, did you? Good for you and your cause." And she moves like slinkily over to where you are, and then she stands up tall at her full height, and says, "You have done well then to bring the full agreement of the council behind you. Just pray tell," and she tips her head the other way, "what do you intend to ask of the council?"
Tell it to ask.
Yeah, we want the council to help us fight Inkmel.
Is it Trask?
Inkamel?
Melaware to ask.
As she doesn't know the name, but as you mention what he is, you see her eyes narrow a little bit. She says, "A creature of such danger would be a grand kill for the council.
Even better,
battle
he's
of
got a
great
small
difficulty."
army of Trasks with him too. They're just small ones.
She says, "This will be no small endeavor. But if you are able to convince Nebularos to lend you the strength of our people, I will certainly be there to aid you."
Or if he's not
Or-
able to lend us the strength, and I look at Pirate, would you use your wish to save the city and destroy the demon's best trump card?
And Terry says, "This one is in league with the Red God."
They promised to make him a demon if he destroys everything in the human realm, and he's going to do it.
I don't remember that, but yeah, he's in league with the red dude.
Yeah, remember he went to the demons to become a Trask? Because he couldn't become a shapeshifter?
Yeah, but
did-
becoming a
that's-
Trask
yeah.
doesn't make him becoming a demon. So
But yeah,
he
he's
wants
in
greater
he's
power.
in league with the red dude. He's actually one of his generals.
And Terry's pauses for a second and says, "If it comes to it, and I need to use my, as you called it, trump card."
Ugh, don't say that.
He says, "I'll bear it in mind. I was trying to save it for my true target."
Hopefully the dragons will agree that this guy needs to die without using it.
I think we have a good chance now that we have Trigazard on our side. By the way, Midas, prime use of the Trump meme in our texting today.
You like that?
Did.
And Terry says, "One can hope." He looks at the
Yeah, we
demon
were
head.
off to the...
He says, "All right. So to Ospium. That's where the battle is going to be."
I was going to go to Mount Draconis, summon them there, and then we'd all travel to where the Trask was. I thought that would be the best idea, but I don't know.
I asked the dragon girl what would be best to get the dragons to meet. Can we do it in Ospium, or do we have to go back?
She looks at you and says, "To talk to Nebularos, go to the summit. You only need speak with him. He can command the rest of us.
Then Nebularis,
I-
we go to the summit.
I stay with Antares." She puts her arm around, she links her arm with his, and Terry says, "I've got business to attend to. I'll see you in Ospium."
I'm gonna roll an insight check because I want to know if she's in love.
Are they banging?
I want to know if they're
Um,
banging.
You definitely sense that her attachment to him is more than just a blood bond, for sure.
Hey, they're fucking fuckers.
Anything.
He really likes the dragon pussy.
And Terry
I
has a thing for
don't
dragon
say
girls,
anything.
okay?
Hey, I don't
think-
blame him. I give him a wink as I walk towards Telephos this whole time, and ask him to teleport us to Mount Draconis.
Alright. So you guys walk around over to Telephos. And Telephos is actually on the other side of a large hill by the time you find him. And you guys get over there, and Ava and Telephos are standing over there. And you see another demon monkey at his feet. This one's smaller, about half the size.
Oh.
But it looks similar, just at Telephos' feet. And Ava says, "Wouldn't you know there was another one? It seems to be a twin, almost. This one was faster than the one you fought. But yes, Telephos spotted him right away, and we handled it while you were otherwise occupied. Where did you want to go?"
I'll acknowledge Telephos and say thanks for having our back, and then I'll tell him we want to go to Mount Draconis. Right?
Okay. Telephos makes a message, and Ava says, "Telephos is beginning to wonder if you think him your personal transportation service."
Not in the slightest.
Welcome to
Mage
my
among
world.
us. And you have the most spell slots. That's the only reason. As soon as you get low on spell slots, we'll have Ellen start doing this.
Can you stop at McDonald's on the way?
Stop where?
Royal
McDonald's, you said? Oh,
Royal
McDonald's. And Ava says, "Telephos does not get low on spell slots." as
Are
he,
you guys banging too?
Insight. Here it goes. Here it goes. Oh, fuck
Oh
yes.
shit!
Yep, they're big.
You know nothing. You know nothing.
Elwin, you don't even see it. You're not even there. But I guess Alric, you can tell that Ava's attachment to Telephos is more than just professional assistant.
What about Telephos'
Piece of
attachment
crap,
to
natural
Ava?
20. He treats her better than he does any of his other students. She's definitely his favorite apprentice. You can tell that there's an affection there, but you don't know if it's an actual relationship or anything.
I bet she's acing his class.
Um,
She gets extra
again,
credit.
I'm going to keep this all to myself.
Okay. All right.
Great time at the bar
Telephos
next time.
teleports you all with another flash of his wand, of his magical staff, and Terry's and Shaylin stay behind. And Terry's goes. You see him pull out a dagger, and
Oh,
he
by
starts
the way,
turning
I
towards
tell
the
him
demon
5
corpse.
days. 5 days before the demons hit the city.
And Terry's nods at you. He says, 5 days. Okay. And you guys... By now, it's fairly late in the day. It's more like... it's twilight. You're heading towards the twilight hours, especially where the Dragon Summit is, for a little bit further west. It's cooler here as the sun has begun to set. It's an amber orange color in the western sky, and you guys arrive at the pinnacle of this Dragon Summit, which is now completely empty. All the Dragonkin and Dragonborn that had been up here earlier have completely vacated, and again it's just bare stone, and it's actually kind of peaceful up here. The air is clear and cool.
I'll give Light the honors and ask him to summon Nebularos.
Forsooth, you require me to issue a call. I have not done so before.
Didn't you do it last time?
No, the
No, it
other
was
girl
Shaylin who
did.
did it. Yes.
Um,
He says, "Lady,
go for it, buddy.
as my lady," he turns to Euphemia and says, "I admit to a bit of trepidation at this task. It is not for one such as I to summon or put out a call to Nebularos himself, Lord
I'm just
amongst
gonna
lords
go-
of the Dragonkind."
While he's up there talking to Euphemia, I'm gonna go up there and use my dragon staff to do the ancient red dragon breath up into the sky.
Alright, roll a performance check too.
Fuck yeah.
There you go. Not bad.
Alright, and as you do that, you can feel the very soul of Shaylin just reverberating through the staff. As Light is off talking to Euphemia about how he's hesitant, Elwin stands there, and the dragon head of your staff, the twin dragon heads, just roar up into the night sky, a bellowing, twinned roar in chorus, and basically in harmony as the two dragons echo forth their call. Light turns back to you and says, and he comes over to you, Elwin. He says, "I could have done it."
I'm sure you could, Stick.
He turns
I'm
and
gonna go
walks
to
away.
Light and I'm gonna say, I think that's a mating call. Isn't it?
Oh, I'd bang the shit out of Light. Make little saplings.
Oh my god.
The sun begins to set, and time goes by. Another half an hour later, and the sun is fully beneath the horizon. Just a small sliver of amber still in the far western sky. but throughout the rest of the night air, it's darkening, and you see the stars beginning to emerge. Another hour goes by, and the stars are in full brightness, shining in glory. You see the twinkling of them, um, just blazing brilliantly in the sky. A couple of them are constellations you recognize. And as you guys are gazing up into the night sky, you see some of the stars like twinkling a little bit, like rapidly or flickering more than they normally would. And you focus in on those, and you realize that there's multiples of them, and they span a big arc across the sky. And as you watch this wonder of natural light, it begins to look like the stars are moving, not closer to you or anything like that, but just like shifting from side to side. And um, after another 10 minutes or so, you realize that they form the pattern of where the stars are is in the vague outline of outstretched wings, and that Nebularos has been flying closer to you this whole time. Um, and just as you realize that he is also upon you, as this very large, his wingspan is stretches now that he's closer across the whole visible sky. He's thinner than a lot of the other dragons, were more wispy, and he begins to withdraw his inky expanse to a more manageable form as he settles down, so that the dragon, the summit top, can contain his full being. He pulls into himself and he settles down, with a very slight thump as both of his hind claws strike down onto the surface of the stone. He never settles his front legs down. He stays on his hind legs, just looking down at you, and says, "You have issued the call. To think that one not of our kind could do so." His eyes level at you, Elwyn. He says, "You have risen beyond your station. Well done."
I've had much help along the way. Shaylin has been very grateful, and I mean, I've been very grateful with Shaylin of her lending me her power, and know that I will use it for good. But now we have need of all of your powers, all of your help, all of the mighty dragon kind. And there is a were-tarask on the loose, and I'm afraid us mortals, us humanoids, cannot handle them without your help. We did manage to persuade Pokemon. What's his name?
Krikishard.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Krigashard, to our cause, and I know that's what was stopping the Dragon Council last time. Would you be able to help us?
He looks at you and says, "That was not what was stopping us. I could have commanded Krigashard's obedience, and he would have been bound by my word. If the danger you speak of is as dire as it is, then perhaps it is time for the dragons to emerge from our hiding places. But know that as soon as we enter this world in power, as soon as we reveal our true station, we will attract attention that we have been avoiding for millennia."
I fear that
is why.
it is necessary. We need your power. if you decide not to intervene and stay hidden in the shadows for the remainder of this conflict, then there will be nothing to hide in. The whole universe will be destroyed. Asmodeus wants everything, and without your help, he's gonna get it.
His head
Asmodeus.
inclines down, and finally he drops down to his front four legs, just very lightly, and his head is in front of you, Elwyn. Very large, easily twice your height. Just his head, and he leans into you and says, after observing you for a few seconds, "You speak the truth. I know this. Perhaps the time of dragon hiding is over. I had wanted it to occur differently. We are not at our strength, and I fear that we will not be strong enough to overcome that which will be upon us. We have not been able to find him. Not yet. We are searching as we have been searching. But ever since you summoned us, I sent the other 6 on a task. Find the one who wishes to not be found. The 8th of the 7. The greatest among us. Without him, I fear that upon revealing ourselves, we will be lost. Bear that in mind, young Elwyn. The dragons will come to your aid. This is a foe worth battling. But bear that in mind.
I might have. It's not much, but it might be of some aid to your quest. And I'll tell him about my vision.
Okay, what are you telling him specifically? About the dream?
Yeah, about my dream, where I saw Bahamut in chains, taken away, all that stuff. Maybe he can make something more of it than what I know.
Yes. Young Elwyn, your dream was my reality. I was there that day. I saw what you saw. It is burned deep, irrevocably into my mind, and it tears at my soul with every rising sun. The one I speak of, my brother, was the one who brought the attention of the gods down upon us. The one who dared to elevate the dragons beyond our station. Bahamut and Tiamat were there because they are the embodiment of the dragon race's will. But it was my brother who inspired us to rise. His knowledge, his perspective, his strength are what we need, our only hope, if we are to survive this age.
Just understanding, is he saying he needs his brother's help to defeat the Were-Tarask, or just to his help to the revealing themselves?
No, he's
Oh,
saying
no,
that the Were-Tarask, no problem, like they'll help us out, but that will reveal that the dragons are still alive and draw the attention of...
Remember, their goddess is working for the demons, and if she tells them to kill us, they have no choice.
Yes. I do remember that part.
Yeah.
I was just worried if we have to find this guy, that may take longer than 5 days, and then the were trash will have destroyed Ospium. But
I'm gonna
To me,
ask
it doesn't.
Nevalaris if he can go into hiding again after killing the Trask and avoid
He says,
being taken again.
that we can. If we reveal ourselves at the last possible moment and recede into the night as soon as possible, it may buy some time. But know this, upon revealing ourselves in power, our millennia-long silence will be broken, and the hunt will have begun.
So after killing the Trask, we have to focus on finding your brother.
He says, and do so quickly, else who knows what dire catastrophe will be wrought upon this world.
Is there anything you can give us, or a way to find your brother? A name, a scent, an item, something?
He is the
Yeah,
greatest
before.
among us. The eighth of the seven.
Does he say a name for the brother?
Befinzor, his name. Hiding from long before the rending. He had retreated into obscurity. He had a fascination for the small folk, would walk amongst them, learned from
What's
them,
a small folk?
saw their ways. He looks at you all. He said, your kind, mortals.
have a name that he used when among the small folk that was different.
I know not.
Dun, dun, dun.
He.
Fins.
It's
What?
Deimos.
No, go ahead, Midas. Finish.
He took upon himself many forms. Yes. But he did like the small folk. And sought to reach into their cultures and make them better. He had a particular fascination for the rock dwellers, the ones stuck in the Stone Age. You see him raising his head, closing his eyes, thinking back. This is thousands and thousands of years ago. Those who lived in the caverns beneath the great mountains. That is the last I remember of my brother.
Fortunately, the Tarrasque killed off most of the dwarves.
We gotta go ask one of my girlfriends, Eloise,
One of my girlfriends.
if she remembers. Oh, wait, you're a dwarf. You're one of the dudes. Do you
Yes,
remember?
I'm a dwarf as well.
You're a dwarf? Who knew?
Thanks for noticing, man.
Hey, man, I see beyond race.
I think, obviously this is all after the Tarrasque battle, which I think we should save for next time because I know Deimos wants to be here for that. Try the observation deck and try Befin's door. It worked with all the other dragons, technically speaking.
Yeah, but I think the point was that they weren't hiding anymore. That's the only reason why it worked. But it's our only fucking lead.
Yeah, it does not hurt to try. If not,
I was able to see, because I had the names of a few dragons, I was able to see where they were when they were still in hiding.
I fear my brother may have lost himself. He was absent-minded to begin with, his thoughts so high or so low that he forgot who he himself was.
It happens to the best of
The
us.
rest of us fled to the outermost limits of this creation. I to the stars, Krigashard to the earth, others to flame and ice and fire and storm. Not Befinzor. Befinzor was gone long before the rending. Befinzor liked to walk amongst the small folk, and may have forgotten who he really was. He would,
Got some
if this were the case, he would be a most peculiar person in your culture.
It's Tycho.
Do you know what type of little folk he liked to transform into? A
It's
badass
Tycho.
half-elf,
Dwarf. It's a dwarf. He's Tycho.
a smelly
I don't remember
euphemia,
who Tycho.
a smelly drow elf.
I have told you all I know.
It's freaking Tycho.
Who the hell's Tycho?
He's the guy who smokes the dwarf pot. The
It could be anyone.
guy from Mistrala who is always gazing at the stars. He was one of the guys we elected in charge of the academy.
He's a gnome.
Yeah, we can start there. I mean,
No, Tycho's a dwarf.
Are you sure? I thought he was a
I'm
gnome.
100% positive, right, Midas?
And Tycho's a dwarf.
This freaking Tycho. Midas,
Alright.
you sneaky bastard. I am going to bet. I'm betting on that it's Tycho.
Okay.
But anyways, Tarask first. I think we should. That's what we should do next, and I think we should save that for next week because I know Deimos wants to be here for that.
That's gonna be some crazy fight.
just a quick
Alright.
question, just in case.
Yes.
Do I remember being some sort of ancient dragon that half-elfed a long time ago and don't remember?
No.
Okay.
You
Just
don't.
making sure.
I will say.
Roll a d20.
I've been sowing hints for this character throughout this entire campaign.
Wait,
And if you think hard enough, if you recall clearly enough, you might remember something of what you need to know for who it is.
Doesn't sound like
Tycho's so
it's
bad.
Tycho.
yeah, I wanted.
You can ask whoever
Beard.
you want. But
Beard.
Nah.
all right, so I think it's a good place to call it. Next week, I mean this is the end of another day, so there's 4 days out from when the Tarask hits the city, from when the Leapers hit the city. But in the meantime, like right now, as you guys are running, there's hundreds of humans dying as they're retreating from the Leapers. They're basically getting eaten up alive as they're retreating, Darius and his troops. So, that's something to think of.
Okay.
Is Quigley
Also-
with Darius?
No, he's in the
Quigley's
city.
still in the tavern. He doesn't know. Oh yeah, because last week you guys went to him and told him, because if he had found out what's happening to Darius, he probably would have gone crazy and just gone charged out there and fought and attacked Inkamel head on. So you guys managed to keep
They
him
probably beat him. And we would have won the game. And you guys would have won. Assholes.
Yes.
But we should get him. We should get him before we go.
So, just a matter of perspective, you guys have not come across any creature anywhere near as strong as the character I've drawn up for Inkamel in this game so far.
Other than Nikamel,
Yeah,
because technically
wanna-
we have come up against him.
Well, you've come across roleplay versions of him.
let's cheat when we're done.
But the actual character sheet that I've drawn up for him, he's like order of magnitude stronger than anything you've fought so far.
I want to see the statue.
Okay?
Dead or
All right.
alive.
Well,
I want
hey,
that
thanks
statue.
for running it, Midas. I really enjoy your game.
Cool. Thanks. It was a fun time. Next week is going to be pretty crazy.
All right, I will see you guys.
You're
Catch
gonna
you
make
later.
me go
Have
back
a
and
good
watch
week.
all the videos, aren't you, Midas? Trying to figure this out.
Well, you can keep role playing it. Think about it. The clues are out there, but you're talking probably stretched out over many dozens of episodes.
Is it?
How
Yeah,
back? How
I've-
far back though?
Yeah,
how far back?
How far back?
Yeah.
I know who it is.
Um,
It's the burrito guy or taco guy or whatever.
That was so fucking hilarious.
pretty darn far. Pretty darn far when I started this guy's idea. At least
Before
40 episodes.
before Albert came in as whatever
Kildrak?
his-
Yes.
Kildrak.
Yes, way before that.
Before
Oh,
I
before
came in as
Kildrak?
Elwin. Yeah.
No. Not before Kildrak.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
maybe.
Kildrak
Far.
came in at the pirates.
Yeah, I came at the very end of the slot invasion.
I'm not gonna tell you more because you'll have to figure it out. And I'll give we can role play and maybe you get more clues later.
Okay.
But like I said, I've been sowing this since really
For a while.
early.
Alright.
Really early
Sounds
in the
good.
campaign.
I'm really curious
Alright.
now. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for running in, Midas.
Cool. Take care.
Level was the
Later.
slot invasion at? What level did we finish that?
That was like level 6 or 7.
Been around
was-
a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, it was like around level
Yeah.
8.
That was the first invasion, first
Alright,
real-time
later, guys.
First big
major
thing.
city.
Anyways, thanks, Midas.
Alright. Take care. Have a good night.
night.